So welcome everyone, this is the Confidence Club podcast, episode number 12, and it's a very special episode on International Women's Day actually, because we are now swapping roles and I'm gonna be for the first time sitting in the guest seat, and I have a very special friend who is going to be the interviewer, Maurice. So this is basically for you guys who are listening and watching this online. This is now the part of the Confidence Club live event, so we are here with a nice audience. And that's my role to introduce now the podcast.
Well, thank you so much, Mesi. What a legend, inspiration you are. Well, as a friend, of course, we've maybe a quick story. We met at the Travel Councilors event a couple of years ago as well, where I was working for an airline, and Mesi was doing her chatting and buzzing and offering a little bit of
And we had the chairs, the massages.
Yes, that was, and obviously from that sparked a conversation, and she's amazing businesswoman and like my big sister. So yeah, and then since then we.
Oh, you never said that. Did you say big sister?
Yeah.
Aww.
And then we, we've
like
done
that.
a couple of projects together in terms of supporting her, as an entrepreneur woman. In my previous role as well, to try and offer opportunities in business and to really connecting people in. So that's kind of our connection really. And then I'm glad here to be supporting amazing women. Our sisters, our mums, our daughters, and I think it's really important. So yes. So anyhow, so Mesi, so some of you know of you, some of you don't, but your journey, so you're a confidence coach and you have run seems to be quite a few businesses, right? And take us back to the beginnings. What was the pivotal beginning, would you say, and moment that shifted you from where you are and what led you to this path?
Thank you. So we had as part of our preparation with Maurice, and I'm going to go into the question as well, he was like, Mesi, do you want me to prepare questions? And I was like, what? Like, obviously, it's my podcast. I'm going to tell you what to ask. Like, what do you mean by preparing questions? And I'm like, the control freak, businesswoman. I'm going to define what's the questions. And then I was so busy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to think about the questions, of course. Like, I did so many episodes, of course. And then today, 2 hours before the start, he sent me a WhatsApp message. What about these ones? And then he just listed like 5 questions. I'm like, you know what? I like them. Let's go with that. So I don't know all of them. Of course, there's some surprises, but it was hilarious. So one thing I really like about you before we actually get into the podcast questions is that you're so brilliant in adapting to, how shall I call this word? Change, constant change, chaos. Like I don't know how many of you have ever run a business. I find it that 99% of the time is chaos. It's chaos and firefighting, and I'm always looking for those calm moments which somehow never coming, but in your mind is like exist. But anyway, you are really good in adapting to this whole thing. So thank you so much. And going back to the question, just want to praise you a little bit. Going back to the question, how I ended up here. So what I wanted to share on this note is what happened after I was actually made redundant at Amex. Christoph Chang, still in the room? Where is he? He's not here? So can we finally open with actually what happened at my Amex time? No, it was not. No, it wasn't too bad. So my role was made redundant. By the way, he was not at Amex. So he left to work at Facebook, and he basically had no say. He was not even at the company when my role was made redundant 3 years ago. So basically, what happened being made redundant and to actually start working on a business. First of all, when I got the news, I had absolutely no idea about it. So no notice, no nothing. I thought I'm gonna have my one-to-one with my boss. So I went with my notepad and our one-to-one meeting, good stuff. And we did sit down, and he didn't say anything. It was just it was like a meeting room where we were staring at each other. And he said, I have something to tell you. And when it's your boss and it's like silence in the room, you kind of suspicious, what's happening? So it was a big surprise to me. And how many people who are not actually British English in this room? Hands up. I know some of you came out with this info already. Well done. when you are not from this country and you work in another country and you make your way up, somehow, I don't know if you guys feel the same, I totally became one with the business. The business was my family. My boss was my family. My colleagues were my family. I loved to go into the office. I enjoyed the whole thing. So when they actually told me, we don't want you anymore, and by the way, you can leave your badge here. Like, that's what they told me on the spot at 3 p.m. And I didn't even understand, like, what are they telling me? And then it took me a minute, like, understanding, like, I can go. And it means I'm not welcomed back anymore. And it was like, you betrayed me, my family, who I gave my heart and soul, and what's happening here? And then I went home, and interestingly, I already had the idea of, maybe I really enjoy these well-being projects at the business. Maybe I could, if I really, really try, maybe I could run my business or try this thing out, or maybe be a solopreneur, like whatever. I had some seeds. Actually, a few months before I got this news about the redundancy, and hi, we were just talking about you. About my redundancy. So I had the seeds about running my own business. And when I was told that I have to go, I called one person, and that was my coach, who interestingly also Axamex, Christoph also knows. We worked together until this moment, Lorna, maybe you met her. And she was a VP as well at Amex. She's now a full-time coach. And I called her and I said, look, I was just told I was made redundant, like shit. And she was like, Mesi, good news, fantastic, like it's a sign, this is what we were waiting for, good, you already had the seeds in your mind, like you were debating whether you were able to run your business. Here we go, like you are. You know, the universe is sending you signs. And I was like, sure, it's a sign. Yeah. You know, when you're like, you get your salary every month and then from next day you don't, and you're like, yeah, running my own business? Sure, how appealing is that? It's not. And basically, I think the key moment like time period for me was that transitioning period from being made redundant to, I don't know, I wouldn't say to the day when I actually started to work on my business, but maybe even a few months in, when I was actually working on it, that mental crazy inner fight I had in my mind that was mad, new business owner, like nodding, exactly. Like I had days when I woke up, like no job, yeah, Amex was gone, here we go, Miss Business Owner, what do you need? And I was like, oh, if you're a business owner, you have a website. Great, okay, Googling, website templates. What else a business owner need business cards. Good, okay, let's print business cards. So I had a website, I had a business cards, and I don't know if people who are not from the UK knew, but in the UK, to set up your own business, it takes 10 minutes and £15.
Great.
Honestly, yeah, back in my country, like I don't know if other countries in Eastern Europe, in Hungary, it's an awful process, like 6 months or even a year. They check how much money you have, how much money I had, like they could have checked, like that was not much. So, and they just welcome you. Entrepreneur, you want to do your thing? Do your thing, great, we support you. So anyway, I had all these like limited company papers, everything. And I was like comfortably sitting at home and I was like, great, clients can come. Where are the clients? And then another week passed and a month passed and 2 months passed. I'm like, where are the clients? Shit, like no clients are coming, like what, like I'm sure like they will come. I'm ready, I'm here. And then this massive giant fight with your own self, like Monday you wake up, I'm a CEO, I'm a rock star, I can do that. Then Tuesday you wake up and you're like, are you an idiot? You're late, you can't even be at a meeting on time. You call yourself a CEO, you wanna call yourself, you can do it, look at you. I was never even leading a team. Team meaning not even one person, yeah? And now I had to lead my own self. That was the scariest shit on planet Earth. So anyway, that went on for like 8-9 months, mad craziness. And I remember I was flying home end of August time, so my redundancy was January. So we are in middle August. I was flying home and we have a father-daughter moment when I'm back home. And my dad takes me to the airport when I fly back to the UK. So we have this, I don't know, 15-20 minutes in the car just with my dad. Like it's usually our like some valuable prime time, yeah, with your parents. You live again, it's emotional and everything. And we are in the car, and he's like, I had 5 days at home, and he's driving, and he's like, so honey, how long were you in Hungary now? 4 days, 5 days with us together, and now you're flying back? And I'm like, 5? Why? And he's like, you know, I'm wondering, like, you didn't even mention a word about your business. And that was August, yeah? So from January, that was like a long time. Yeah, I had the limited company papers, I had the business cards. Like in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a business owner. This is on, man. And he was like, you didn't even mention. So he actually like made me face the facts. And I'm like, oh, really? And then he continued, and that was like full on. He's like driving, he's like, you know, that's okay, you know? Like, you didn't even talk about it. Maybe you're not, you know, that interested. Maybe that's not for you. You know, being a business owner, being a boss, you know, maybe it's not for everyone. So that's okay, don't worry. Yeah, maybe some other people can do it. You know, maybe some people need safety and, you know, need someone to tell them what to do and how to do. I was like, just got in silence. I'm like, shit, like that was harsh. And I was like, no, I'm a strong woman. Yeah, we go to the airport. I go through security, everything, you know, I'm tough and I can make it. And I went through security and I'm like, ooh, tears and everything. And I was like bursting down, like crying like a baby. What did my dad say? Like, he even said like things I can't do it. Like, of course I can do it. Anyway, that was like a big moment for me to like realizing like what's going on. And the second one, and then I finish and we can go on to the next question. I think that's the most exciting, interesting, like, you know, period, like the transitioning, how you're transitioning from not believing that you can do something and actually pushing yourself into it, even if as scary as hell. What does it take? And I continued the self-doubt, and September came. By mid-September, I had £500 on my bank account, and of course, at Amex, I got some nice redundancy package. Yeah, so you would wonder where the hell that money go? Yeah, where did it go? What happened? Anyway, the fact is, by September, I had £500, and I was crying nearly every day. I'm like, this is so hard, like debating what's gonna happen, like stress, anxiety. And I called my coach, and I was like, oh, Lorna, I don't want to give this up. It's so hard. And she's like, Mesi, hello. You know that you cannot give this up, right? I was like, oh, why? And she's like, because, my dear, you haven't even started yet. And I was like, boom, into my face. What are you saying? And she's like, well, if you really look at it, what do you have? You have your limited company papers, you have a logo, you have a business card, and you have a website. And I went, I'm sorry to face you this one, but actual work did not happen. And it was just a massive, you know, like a big wave into your face, like, what? Nothing happened like that. And I said to myself one thing, like, even this is not gonna go anywhere, I just want to tell myself that I tried. And maybe at that point, I just wanted to prove my dad and my coach, I don't know, that I'm strong and I can make it. And a beautiful journey came 2.5 years in, and where am I right now? It's like the growth was like elevated, like insane. And how I feel now, I feel less of a wanting to impress other people, or maybe my dad or my coach. I just want to impress myself, and I just want to look into the mirror and say that you did your best today. You do everything you can. And whether if it's success or whether if it's failure, it's less of a need to share, but it's more of an internal work and an internal, well done, I love you. I could never say I love you, by the way. I don't know how many people can actually look into the mirror and say with deep, honest truth, I love this person. I'm the biggest cheerleader of myself, and I love it. I'm so excited about it. Every time something tough comes, like I just look in the mirror and I have a small conversation, and I'm like, okay, what are these negative thoughts? Thank you, we're not interested. Okay, bitch, come on, like man up, like you're gonna do that. and I don't need to call others like, I don't know, what do you think? Like, can I do this? Like that. Like, I'm just my own biggest like supporter as well, and I think that's a beautiful journey. End of my answer.
No, that's very
that was a long answer.
No, it's very true. And I think in our journey, sometimes the most obvious, you know, biggest cheerleader is what you see in the mirror. And often I think we don't, I mean, I certainly don't do it. I would never say to myself, so I love you, but I might do that now. But I don't think even often we don't say to other people, I love you. And I think your closest friends and families, your closest allies. And when I sometimes have like, oh, what do I do? There's, friends, I just pick up the phone and like, can we chat? So often it's like your closest network, as you said, your dad, boom, do you have a business? But often it's like, you need to have a business and whatever that might be. And I think sometimes in this journey, then you have full-time jobs and you have a 9-to-5 paycheck in your paycheck, and then you like end up like yourself and you're like, what do I need? And then sometimes that it takes you into another dimension, which is very exciting. And especially coming from a different country, I can definitely relate as well, different cultures and different languages and different jobs and adapting to different cities. And I think it's very challenging to be liked, to fit in a company, to fit in a culture. So, and, being Hungarian influence that you are, how does your Hungarian heritage or upbringing influence you, the way you maybe do business, approach business, your wellness projects today? And is there a specific Hungarian trait that you bring to your business? Anything that your Hungarian sauce, if you like.
Okay, I'm just gonna answer whatever came to my mind. It's not necessarily to the point, but I'm just gonna mention, and please hands up all the Hungarians. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna laugh on this. We coming from a place where, how to phrase this very nicely, I have some Hungarian listeners, I know, on the podcast. We can be a bit negative, or we can be a bit enjoying our own victimhood. And yes, it's coming from history and the old times and all of it. And it's a really interesting and challenging experience to come to another country, or just to say to the West, and really face the difference between Eastern Europe, or like, let's say, in particular, Hungarian way of thinking or how people are. And my biggest thing, what I experienced, especially when I started to run my business, is that I was bringing this Hungarian, I'm just a victim, I need to be jealous about everyone, I need to point things like, you better than me, but I can't celebrate you, I'm just gonna be a bit pointy, like how you dress, or I'm jealous because I think that was more expensive than this, or whatever, like we made up in our minds, yeah? And my approach was, when I started to run my own business, I was like, okay, I run this business, and you just want to justify yourself the why not, why you cannot succeed, and the negative side of it, and you tell yourself, oh, I'm sure nobody will help me. What did I have? No cash, no money, no investor, no rich husband, not even a husband, nothing. So I'm like, I really need to make it on my own, and you justify why not, like, I'm sure they're not going to help me, and this and that, and you bring this Hungarian weird mindset. And so in my mind, and sorry from all the Hungarians who are listening to this and maybe not living abroad or whatever, not brainwashed, let's just call it brainwashed by the West, which, by the way, they call exactly the same way because you are the brainwashed by the West, but I think that's a good thing. So in my mind, it was, okay, so if I approach someone as a business owner, my thinking was that I'm sure this other person would never help me, yeah? Because I thought the way I was thinking, that was my own reality, which was, that was the truth. So obviously the other person will think exactly the same way. So there's no way we're gonna collaborate, partner up, or help each other, yeah? So what I learned, and by the way, this is what's usually happening in Hungary. And sorry if a new generation grew up since I'm living here, but when I left, that was kind of like the thing. So two people meet and they're just jealous. They feel like I have this. I'm not even showing you what I have because I feel like I need to be scared or that you're gonna steal what I have. Like, it's their first thing. You said no swearing, but the first thing you think is, how will this other person fuck me up? And you don't even approach them. You already said that's not gonna be working. And then I became a business owner in the UK, and I started to share with people that I just do this business. And what I received back, that was fascinating. The amount of help, kindness, just nice approach, it's incredible. I started to work on a business in September 2023, wow. And I just got like offers, like hi, we're gonna run this conference. Yeah, ticket is like £500, but yeah, just come along. Oh, someone else. Oh yeah, we're gonna run this big exhibition, and do you wanna have like a mini stand or something? Yeah, one stand is like 2.5K, but you know what? We're gonna make some space in the corner for you. And I was like, what? So people just started to give like, you know, all these compliments, kindness and everything. And I was like, wow, like, so big takeaway. First of all, the mindset shift. And second of all, like never be afraid of asking. Nothing bad would ever happen after that, right? What's the worst can happen? They're gonna kindly tell you, smiling with a nice approach, sorry, not now, or sorry because, whatever, but it doesn't mean that it's a conflict, it doesn't mean that it's a bad relationship, yeah? So that was a big takeaway from me. Like, just open your mouth and doors will open, yeah? Unexpectedly, things, situations which you never ever heard of, and never ever thought of. So yeah, that was the very beginning though.
Well, that's certainly well-made takeaways. Just ask. I think the question, if you, maybe be fearful of starting your business, but often it's just ask people, and that's a nice thing to know. The people of kindness, and as well, obviously here tonight as well. People coming as our friends and network as well, supporting us. So that's always ask. If you don't ask, people don't know. So that leads me on to, obviously today you've lots of motivation, confidence and networking and things, and trying us to boost with different ideas and mindset shifts. What gets you out in the morning? What's the first thing you like, right? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
I think for like a year or maybe a year and a half, my ultimate motivation was, I'm gonna show this to my dad. And everything I did, and every failure, and every challenge I was facing, I'm like, shit, I was never doing this before. Even though at that conference, yeah, where we met, like at the Lotta conference, when was this, 2024, something? 4, yeah? I had the opportunity, through this lovely woman, Lisa, that I ended up standing in front of a room with 300 people, and I had a slot on stage, about 20 minutes talking, and it was like a, how did we call it, mindset boost? Yeah. Sorry, like a morning mood booster thing. Yeah, 9 a.m. They just started the conference day, and I had 20 minutes to stand in front of 300 people, which was at that point mad for me. I did steps, and I like consciously pushed myself into like situations when I had 20 people, then more, than 50, then 80, then maybe 100. So it's like there was like a journey, but like 300, like live, I was like, ooh. And I remember that morning, I was trying to eat something at the breakfast area, and I felt like I was so anxious. I can't express, you guys. And I was like, yeah, you need to eat something. Like, you stress, you're nervous. And I had one bite of a croissant, and I thought I'm gonna just throw up, like, straight away, and it was just 30 minutes before the stage time, so that was tough. And I have no idea what happened to me, by the way, but I was like really nervous. I stepped on stage, and somehow I can actually circulate that I recorded it. I started to, I don't know, step into this calmness. Like, somehow I found whatever energy in me. I have no idea what it was, but I talk like slowly, easy, like nice. The message is there, and it was really amazing. I remember I came out of this room, and I had to go to a calm place where nobody saw me, in the garden, whatever. It was a beautiful hotel, I think in Windsor. And I found like a hidden place, and I was just crying for like 10 minutes because I had to like release, like, because it was so much. It was just a massive deal, and I felt like that I'm closer to the goals which I really wanna pursue. So coming back to your question, what gets me out? I think in the last 2.5 years, the more you push yourself to uncomfortable situations, and the more you test yourself and your abilities and your power and your strengths, the more you actually realize, oh my God, I was on 10% in the last 40 years, or maybe 20. And I'm like, oh, I can do more. Oh my God, I did that as well. Oh, I did that as well. Oh, I'm a business owner for 2.5 years, and I'm working with brands like IKEA, American Express, Reddit, AstraZeneca, and I charge 1K for a webinar. excuse me? Like, what is going on? Like, it's like, and I was not even brave to speak up on a meeting in front of 3 people who were my closest colleagues. What, yeah? It was just like, what is this transformational change? So it's, first of all, insane, and second of all, I think the more you try, and you see with the club, like, this was not an idea 2 years ago. Like, you keep inspiring yourself, and you're like, oh, what is the thing I enjoy most? Do I enjoy speaking with clients? Do I enjoy sales? Do I enjoy marketing? Do I enjoy speaking? Do I enjoy coaching, helping? So what is it? And answering your question, today, what gets me up is absolutely the inspirational bit, that I can be here with you guys, and maybe I share something from my past, from my history, which maybe inspires someone to, I don't know, shift the perspective, or thinking differently, or saying, yes, I can do that. And you know what? I'm procrastinating in the last 10, 20, 30 years, and I'm gonna call my, I don't know, mom or my loved one, and I'm gonna tell them I love you. And you know what? Let's speak again. Whatever, anything which helps you to feel better. So that's today's motivation. It's less of a, I'm gonna show it to my dad. Oh, by the way, yesterday he was just on the phone and he said, you know what? I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, yeah. But it was not like I'm just existing on this planet, so you tell me that you love me and you're proud of me. Thank you, but I know that the day will come and you're not here anymore. And I wanna stand strong, and I wanna do this, look into the mirror and say, honey, I love you. You're a badass bitch. Yeah? Like to be there for you. So it's changing and shifting slowly. But yeah, recommended to everyone. Try entrepreneurship.
Wonderful. And I think definitely, again, it comes back to saying yes. Like you guys today, you said yes. Getting yourself out of comfort zone, coming to a new event, meeting new people as well, and inspiring other people as well, and having your friends and close network really kind of inspiring. And yeah, that's definitely for my boost in the morning as well. Who I'm going to meet today, so that's always quite fun and interesting.
And you've never done this before, you said?
No, I haven't. Will I do it again? Yes.
How do you feel?
Great.
Yeah. Good.
Again, pushing yourself out of comfort zone for new experiences. So, of course, to do all this and inspire, and ultimately you run a wellness business as well. With Gabo, you do the confidence speaking as well. You seem to be on the go all the time as well. How do you bridge the gap between your mental wellness and confidence and physical wellness through sleep and eat? Do you, how do you sleep, eat? Because you seem to be on the go, which is fascinating. And how do you bring it all together? Can you be confident in your if you feel good in your body and mentally?
I love this question. This was definitely not planned. Good one. Fun story. There were times, maybe a year ago, when my kitchen cupboard was full of one thing. You can guess. Tea. Close. Anyone else? What was it full with? Pasta. Thank you. Who gets it? The Hungarian. Yes, exactly. It was full of Red Bull. Just trust me. There was one cupboard you open. It was just Red Bull, and yes, it was lack of sleep and everything. And someone one day just told me, Mesi, you know that you preach well-being and you have this wellness company. Like maybe
wellness drinks.
You should somehow wellness drinks. Yeah, you should somehow take care of yourself. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm like. That's tough. So after some conversation with people who actually know nutrition, like a cat, explain me what Red Bull actually does with your body and those things which are in Red Bull. And I was like, oh, that is not a good thing. And also during the night, I couldn't really sleep. Like my heart rate was always on, even though, let's say I had the Red Bull midday, whatever, yeah, to keep me going. And then I stopped. I'm very proud. I didn't, by the way, put them into the trash. It is still there.
No events for Red Bull then.
Huh?
No events for Red Bull then.
No events for Red Bull. Yeah, we want to cut it off that. But yeah, it's, and then a moment came when I realized that's one of the hardest things for me to keep this non-existing balance. I don't think it's balance in life. We live somehow and we try our best and try for balancing things. But I don't think that what we chase actually exists. And of course we do our best, but what I learned that it was such a hard thing, like to not to kind of like die within the process, even though you bring this flag of this is my passion, I love to be a business owner, I'm not just a soldier of whatever company, I love this, I enjoy this. Yeah, and then your system, you kill it because you drink this shit, you know. And then I was like, okay, so how are founders and business owners balancing this thing? Like, you're passionate, so you want to work and you enjoy, but like you actually need to sleep and then maybe exercise sometimes. So answering your question, it's not easy, but I think every day is a new chance. So how I kind of like decompress, I like running. So I do that, and lots of yoga, and I do meditation as well. I know some people love long meditations. My favorite ones are like shorter ones, like 10 or 15, and I have a few favorites. And whenever I manage to piss off a client and it's a crazy bad situation, then I really need to calm myself. Then it's a 10 or 15 minute short thing. And even if it's the days like chaos, I'm like, no, like you need. And what I really enjoy in this is that it's less of a, I need to share it, yeah? So it's not like I'm picking up the phone and I talk about it because I think that helps, that I just give the negativity to another person. But it's like, okay, how can I calm this system? And it works more or less.
And some calming tea.
Yes.
Cup of tea, some people like the cup of tea.
Calming tea is for Red Bull, yes.
Always good. It definitely, you know, I find as well, I used to be a big Red Bull drinker many years ago, like you as well. And then, yeah, no more.
No more. Good, very good.
Just coffee now.
Just coffee, yeah. Right. I'm addicted.
Know that you run the business, and you know often people say that, you know, running well business is more like your passion project and then other different things. And what advice? How do you turn your passion into a profitable, sustainable business model like what you're running now? So what kind of things that turning passion into making money, making a business?
How do I turn passion to profitable business? Well, as soon as my business is profitable, I'm going to tell you. No, I'm joking. It is profitable. Well, at least it's on zero. So I'm at the stage, so 2.5 years. I'm still not at the moment when money is piling up. But I can give you guys an example. I have months when it's 1K or 1.5. And I have months when it's 20K net cash. So you see. And then I'm like, how do I make 20K by myself in a month? It's like, what? So it is profitable. And what I think is interesting about this, when I started off, as my confidence was lower, I was just trying to trust smarter people or people who I identified as smarter around me. Yeah. So I was just trusting, let's say, a chair massage therapist, a yoga teacher, a mental health expert, a counselor, a therapist, like anyone, because I was obviously not a person who can run a business or has anything to give to society or people. So I was like, okay, I have this good team around me. These people I trust. So let's try to build something. So I saw myself as the sales guy. So I was like, okay, what am I good at? Talking. Okay, so let's do this talking thing. And I thought I can be the connector person between corporates, like businesses, and all the well-being experts. And I was like, well, I did something like this at Amex. So I was trying to bring that business model or that idea, organizing well-being events and well-being wellness training to other companies, what I did for Amex in-house. And as the story changed, and I'm like kind of like started to see my own value, and I started to bring a bit more confidence into my system and into my mindset. Now I feel like, oh, maybe actually there's something who could also be profitable and also be, you know, marketed as a product or maybe as a service or something which is valuable to people or to clients or to companies. And then I had to realize that it is. Because before I thought that I have to sell other people or other people's services or products, and now I'm convinced that this is ready. and they love it, and the feedback is positive, and all the clients, okay, at this moment, 98% of them, they're coming back. And I could tell, maybe at another podcast, about maybe you're going to ask about big failures when you make a mistake. And the client says that, I'm really sorry, but I was not happy with this. And then shit hits the fan, and you're like, oh, where's my boss from American Express? Or where's my dad? Or where's my coaches? Oh, it's no one. Oh, so I have to deal with this. And that was literally my only money in that month. And you make a mistake, and they say, sorry. And like, it's B2B, it's corporate business, yeah? So to win one client, it takes a year, or 6 months, or 8 months, or 2 years, yeah? We talk big corporate brands. And when they are not happy, that's not a good thing, because you had one shot. And so then to digest that, then to, you know, like process, like why did it happen? Like you are, like I can spiral down in like 2 days. And I tell myself I'm a complete failure, and in a week's time I feel like I need to move back home to Hungary, and that was a complete bullshit idea. So yeah, but I can elaborate on that, but I don't even know what was the question, but tough times are there.
Well, the most importantly, it leads to the question I wanted to ask you.
Brilliant.
So handling setbacks, you know, keep in mind that you run several businesses, you know, your wellness, your coaching, and there's always a potentially client, as you mentioned, there might be that might have a failure in a business, you're not happy for whatever the reason why, you know, that comes as a personal rejection. And what is the first step you take to help them rebuild their confidence? First of all, how do you help yourself to rebuild the confidence, and then customers? From some failure, how do you help yourself and customers to rebuild the confidence running your own business?
Some customers, which I had in the past, just so disappointed that they tell you that was it. And obviously you keep trying, and you try this and you try that, but most of the time you have that one shot, you're in the limelight. Well, that someone else is gonna do that if we don't like you, so it's okay. So that's less of a control, I think, what I have on, like how will a client react, or a company, or whatever. How I recover. Well, actually, it happened to me 3 times when it was like a mistake, which you know, when I delivered something and the client was not happy. So in 2.5 years, 3 times, yeah. And there's a nice evolution, how I handled it when it happened for the first time, how I handled it the second time and the third time. The first time, it took me 4 or 5 months to mentally come back and feeling I'm back on my horse. That was the toughest. That was a very easy spiraling down in a day. And I thought, okay, I'm a strong girl. I can manage this. It's gonna be okay. And first of all, I was crying and I called my dad, so he was very helpful. But I thought I'm over it, but it took me like maybe like months and months and months. Like it was because you kind of like stay in that mode. You think you're over it, but then you make a mistake, then you make another mistake, that you make another mistake. So it's like, obviously your mindset is not there. And how I handle it now is I don't need to call anyone. And I'm so busy now that it's like literally no time to dwell on whatever mistake I make. I'm like, okay, mistake is past. We are living in the now, in this moment. What's next? And I'm like, Mesi, you don't have time for that. Yes, process it. Why did it happen? But just like move on, because there are some other clients you need to deliver. There are services. There's a confidence club. There's like things you wanna pursue and you wanna do. So no time to waste.
Just send me a voicemail message on the WhatsApp. A couple of my friends do that as well.
On what? Or when I make a mistake?
Yeah,
yes.
when you need to like vent, just send it to me. That's fine.
Okay. I have a good person to do that.
That's always very interesting. And so we've got 2 more questions. I'm conscious of time as well.
Yeah,
obviously we live our life, and ultimately we are our life's author, you know, the CEO of our life. So we write our book. How does the next 5-10 years look? But Mesi, are you going to write a book? What we can expect the next 5-10 years to look?
I was not prepared for this.
It's a good question.
But I'm gonna summarize because last year I finally got super nailed and crystal clear where I wanna go. So I'm gonna just tell that. I hope it's not gonna take 5-10 years, by the way. I'm gonna fast track it. Who heard about Mel Robbins? Mel Robbins?
Mm-hmm.
So Mel Robbins runs her own podcast as well, and she is kind of like how would you call her? Like an educator or someone who is very down to earth, and her thing is a very similar like a mission or vision what I have to break down maybe psychology and everything mindset and breaking it down to like kitchen language, to like easy digestible bits and things, how we can be just living our daily lives easier, happier, and just more fulfilled. And so that's why she invites like experts in her podcast, trying to understand like the mindset, like human behavior, like nervous system, like everything about stress, like how people manage conflicts, like the hardship of life, which we feel like, that's what is so hard. So her mission is to kind of like help. And I'm like, well, she's blonde, I'm black, so I can be the next Mel Robbins, coming from Eastern Europe, you know, finally someone who is not an American and making the Hollywood dream as a success. But I can show the world as well that that's something to pursue. And when I did a similar event to this with my coach, Lorna, there was a question like, I can't remember, it was 5 years plan or 10 years, or what's your thing, what do you want? And guess what I wrote down to that paper? The difference is between that moment, it was 3 years ago, just when I started off my business. The difference how I felt about that goal is that now I'm happy to share, because I'm less bothered about the external or how people may pursue or how people would react to that or what these people would think or give me the looks or whatever. I'm like, I know it's for me and it's okay. And some coaches say, don't share your big dream because people are gonna question you and they're gonna be, you try to hit me, I don't mind. Because I'm so convinced that I'm gonna make it. But even 3 years ago, I wrote down to that paper, I'm gonna be world famous. And I was like, just making that paper, like tiny little thing, like hide it somewhere, like, you know, what would people think? And I'm like, and now I'm like, yeah, man, it's happening. So it's like, yes, that's, there we go.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, London famous for sure. Working on magic. So thank you for sharing. But definitely in whether we write our own books, our stories is definitely, you know, starts with us. And I'll go read one, just probably last one, and before I take questions from the audience, is what is one guilty pleasure, be your Hungarian food or a TV show that fuels your soul?
Fuels my soul.
Fuels you, yes.
You know what fuels my soul most? When I can feel that I'm the most proud of myself, and you know what, that comes to me every time I manage to catch myself overcoming all that negative self-beliefs which that little me had when I was little. And trust me, guys, my confidence was nowhere close. I did self-harm. I did awful things. My mindset was not on this planet, yeah? Like I did therapy, counseling, I had post-traumatic disorder, like everything. And every time I'm in a conflict situation or something where I feel like I need to step up, like I was dying every time I had to do that. And right now, every time it happens, maybe not every time, but like I observe it more and more times, is that I somehow found this calm place which feels like a rock, yeah? So even if I have to face a conflict situation or something which feels like really hard or challenging or I'm very, very scared of, I can just talk to myself and I can calm myself down and make sure that it's like the scientist in the brain, like it's not an actual fearful, scary thing. It's safe because I got you, which is me, yeah? So I can discuss it with myself quickly and I say, okay, we can stay calm. Because we are convinced that we are authentic, we are true, we are guided by good at every moment. So whatever is the external circumstance wants to project me or other people's bad things or their bad day or like I don't care. It's not about me and it's about them And now I feel like I see you. Every time someone is like, you know, like behaving bad or angry, whatever, I can just say, I don't know, I feel like I'm mini Buddha. I don't know, I feel like I see this person. You're suffering, you have some pain inside. And that's why you're projecting it to me or to whoever. And I'm like, okay, I see you, that's great. You can't hurt me, you can't harm me in any way. And I can stay in my calm. But trust me, like you would like question me or point me, my hands would be like sweaty, like red, like heart rate, and I would be just like anything but not facing it. So I see, I was, you know, see it coming. I would be like out of the room, not even there anymore, because I felt like you're gonna, like, I don't know, kill me.
Well, you're in the room now within the spotlight, so that's a change.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That's great. So thank
The
you.
quote.
Yes.
The quote?
No.
My favorite quote?
Yes, please.
I think we have the quote. If you wanna press the slides. Yes, thank you. So my favorite quote, and this is gonna be our parting words. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. It's from Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer's books are highly recommended. Who heard this quote before? Yes, good. This is my ultimate favorite quote because this is magic, and I'm not going to over-explain because I think it tells the story and it's very late. So thank you so much, guys, for being here with us today and coming.
Maybe you have invite one question from the audience.
Okay, let's do one.
I'd quite like to know who your favourite type of client to work with. So when you're prospecting for your new business and you've got so much exciting things going on, what's your favourite type of other people to work with? Or companies, it can be company names or anything like that.
I think many times it's the actual contact person, then the brand. Of course, like I'm working with Lego and they're returning, and we work with every like, how cool, like I go to the office, like, can I do videos? Like, it's so cool. Like, you know, like wow. But it's most of the time, as we are humans, yeah, and people by people, you actually enjoy the relationship with your contact. So I would rephrase like that. And yes, I had clients who were talking to me not too nicely. And when that was actually as a funny story, like in the first few months when I just started off, I knew it like, well, I run my own business, but I don't think I'm in a position that I shouldn't be smiling at this point, because I really need this client to pay and I want them back. But when, you know, it can happen in corporate world, like we are humans, like sometimes people can be, and I'm like, yeah, just shut up and smile because you need these guys to come back to you again. So yeah, that happens as well, but relationship. But thank you for the question.